Praised be Jesus and Mary. St. Lucy was a young Christian girl who had already offered her virginity to God, and she refused to marry when her mother pressed her to accept the offer of a young pagan. And the mother was afflicted afterwards for several years by an issue of blood, and all human remedies were ineffectual. Lucy reminded her mother that a woman in the gospel, suffered from the same condition. And she had been healed, by divine power. So they resolved to make a journey, a pilgrimage to Catania, a port of Sicily, where the tomb of St. Agatha had already become a pilgrimage site. Lucy told her mother, St. Agatha stands ever in the sight of him for whom she died, and only touch her sepulchre with faith, and you will be healed. St. Agatha had already saved the city when Mount Etna had erupted a year after her martyrdom. Some frightened pagans, seeing this course of lava descending directly toward the city, uncovered her tomb, and at once the lava stopped. St. Lucy and her mother spent the entire night praying by the tomb until, overcome by weariness, they both fell asleep. And St. Agatha appeared in a vision to Lucy and foretold her mother's recovery and Lucy's future martyrdom. She said, "You will soon be the glory of Syracuse as I am of Catania." At that instant, the mother's cure was effected, and in her gratitude, the mother allowed her daughter to distribute her wealth among the poor and to preserve her virginity. And the young man who had sought her hand in marriage denounced her as a Christian during the persecution of Diocletian, but our Lord, and by a special miracle, saved this virgin that he had chosen for his own more than once. The soldiers who attempted to take her to a house of ill repute were unable to move her, and the frustrated prefect gave orders to attach her by ropes harnessed to bulls, and the bulls couldn't even budge her. So she was accused of using magic. How can you, a feeble woman, triumph over 1,000 men? The prefect said, and Lucy replied, bring 10,000. They will not be able to overcome God. So there was a fire kindled around her, which didn't harm her either, even though she was covered with resin and oil. So, when a sword was thrust into her heart, the promise made at the tomb of St. Agatha was fulfilled. And St. Lucy died proclaiming peace for the church. When we read the lives of the saints, we realize that they had to bear sufferings and temptations far greater than any of ours. And the only way that they overcame them was by their love of our Lord and His most holy Mother. So let us nourish our love by meditating on the mysteries of their lives, and above all by devotion to the Most Holy Eucharist and the frequent confession.